My first exposure to marijuana was during a Friday night program at my local masjid. You know, we think these problems don't affect our community, but they do. A group of older teenage girls brought a couple of joints and smoked them in the bathroom. Honestly, I don't think our parents would have believed us, except that they got caught.
Just working with youth throughout the United States, I think one of the things that we've seen is that there has been an increase. You know, just as you look at what society, from the media to what they see at school, what they see at the universities, it's a pressure, right? It's a pressure. It's something that everyone's doing it, so why can't we do it?
We have to be very concerned about this age group. Are they getting everything that they need? Are we listening? Are we paying attention to what their concerns are? And the type of work that the FYI does is to really center those youth voices to say we have to be more responsive.
A lot of other challenges have to do with relationships, whether it's one's relationships with one's parents or one's relationship with a romantic partner. Or it's relationships among friends.
Whether it's self-medicate to, make them self-numb, to just, I can't deal with these problems, everything's so hard. So Islam is not like this, immunity pill that you take and it protects you from everything immediately. We have some severe ailments that are plaguing our community, and we need to begin to think strategically and intentionally about how to resolve those problems.
Sometimes parents, we get worried and we don't know how to deal with the issue of drugs and alcohol. We don't know how to do, we don't know what are the issues facing our young people because we think, if they're Muslim, that should be enough.
So as a psychologist, I would see my clients, and day after day, I would feel sad because many of the problems that they were dealing with could have easily been prevented with some basic education. And I really wanted to have that broader audience and get the information on how do you strengthen your family, how do you build a stronger marriage, what are the issues facing Muslim youth. We wanted a platform to educate individuals and empowering them so that they can live happy, fulfilled lives and be in meaningful relationships. We've identified 4 focus areas that can really have the greatest impact: youth development, parenting, marriages, and mental health.
I'm attending this workshop on how to mentor the youth. I find it very beneficial for teachers, administrators, parents.
We learn in this workshop the complexity of all these issues, and that complexity necessitates empathy and understanding of the youth and how they grow and how they develop. I would definitely absolutely recommend that any community take on this workshop.
The FYI actually takes the research that's out there about Muslim families and Muslim children, marriages and that kind of thing, and takes that research and puts it in words that, and information that the average person can understand. So there's that translation between the research and the everyday people and how it can impact everyday people.
But with the infographics and also kind of like the brief videos, it gives essential information really quickly, concisely, clearly.
As an imam, undoubtedly we face a whole plethora of specific challenges with regards to family, community, children. And the historical approach in our community has been this very ad hoc, subjective approach. But now with institutions like FYI, we're able to really bring to the fore institutionalized, authentic research that solves and begins to address the greater questions that we're facing.
When you think about marriage preparation, think about how you prepare for going to school or choosing a career.
If we can understand people's perceptions about mental health and about family relationships, then we can do a better job providing the services that they need. And the challenge is that oftentimes communities are attempting to provide certain services, but they're not research-based and they don't have the data to support it. The beautiful thing about FYI is that we're able to utilize both research and practice and bring the two together to be able to, do the best that we can to address a range of issues.
I was actually thrilled to discover an organization like the FYI because we're constantly trying to look for resources for people who are thinking about how to address challenges in mental health, especially around marriage and family, youth development. So I felt like I struck like a pot of gold.
As an educator, we deal with many stakeholders. So we have stakeholders who are parents, we have teachers, we have students, we also have community leaders, and then also spiritual leaders. Personally, I have used FYI in many ways. It has helped me find all the information that I need. Like, it's almost like a one-stop shop to get information, get ideas, get research for me to become a better educator, parent, better youth activist.
It's really hard for the average person, or for anyone, just to pick up, to go and dig into the literature and the research and try to figure out what that means to the everyday person, and FYI is able to do that.
The feedback that we've gotten from community members is the resources that we're providing are unique because of the fact that the FYI is very importantly research-based. Everything that we do has to come from research rather than anecdotal evidence or just personal thoughts and opinions. So research that's grounded in theory from a psychological perspective, a social work perspective, whatever it might be. And then the analysis that's done, we try to publish in academic journals, present at academic conferences. That forces and pushes us to make sure that we maintain that level of professionalism, that the analysis that we do would be accepted in academic rigor.
The Family and Youth Institute has humble beginnings and a hopeful future. The FYI will continue to focus on research in the areas of family, youth, marriage, and mental health and well-being, and remain committed to helping young people and their families realize their fullest potential.